Hello everyone, welcome back to Sin City Living. Jason here bringing you today's video. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and don't forget to check out our Patreon. We appreciate all you patrons out there. I'll be posting some videos just for you guys in the next week or two as I can. So for today, after the long hiatus I took, life had to get in the way. I'm going to touch back on subjects that I've touched on before because they've popped up a lot lately and they've kind of stuck with me. And this one is a big one. Why so many people can't win at craps. It's not that why do we lose, because of course we lose because the odds are against us. There's a house edge built in. Now also that house edge is absolutely fair. Casinos wouldn't even exist if they did everything as perfect true odds. It'd be a break-even proposition. So of course there's a house edge, just like the grocery store has additional prices built into what they pay for products. Because again, you can't have a zero-sum business. So there is a house edge, but beyond that, we know what the house edge is when we walk in. We know what the odds are when we walk in. We know what the rules are when we walk in. So the game is fair despite what people will say. And of course the odds are against us. On this game, you can lose a lot of money really fast. You can also win a lot of money really fast, but only if you play it to win. So again, why do so many people never, ever seem to win at craps? It's pretty basic. It comes down to three possibilities. Possibility number one that I see a lot with the younger crowd, and that's not actually knowing the game. Not knowing the game, not really knowing how to play, so they're learning as they go, or somebody showed them something and that's what they do. And the corollary to that is, with not really knowing the game, are the people that have some system that they saw somewhere, be it YouTube, which amusingly enough, or read a book, or had somebody tell them, and they follow that system blindly, even though they don't actually understand all the odds and all the rules behind what's going on, and they end up losing as well. One of the most frustrating things to dealers is listening to a player tell another player how to play. And I don't mean telling them things like, oh, hey, this is how you bet on other numbers, teaching them place bets, things like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean people that are like, well, you need to bet this way and this way, because that way when this rolls, it'll hedge you for this and cover you for this, and then you play with this bet because that covers you on that. And all these systems and all this kind of stuff, it just makes us roll our eyes because we see it 100, 1,000 times a week, and we know that it really just doesn't work. So that's reason number one, not really understanding the game. Reason number two is playing to not lose. And what I mean by that, I see a lot of systems do that. First off, the biggest one are combat players. Now, combat players, typically it tends to be, what I've also noticed is it tends to be an older group that plays the combats. And the reason for that is because some of the original books on craps that came out 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago dealt a lot with combats and discussed combats a lot and how great of a bet they are. And people get really hung up in when a 7 comes, I'm still going to get paid there, so it's like a little bit of a hedge. It's not a freaking hedge, because if you're going to play combats, the only intelligent way to play combats is with max odds. So if you're on a 3, 4, 5 table and you've only had, say, just 2 combats travel, a 7 outcomes, you just lost $275 and you won $25. That's a hedge? Come on, get real. But that's their mindset, is that, oh, that's saving me. And yeah, the occasional, when you get that 0.7 out, so you get your $25 there, so you just lost on your pass line with odds. You still lost. That's not a hedge. It's not an insurance bet. Yes, the odds are pretty good for combats simply because of the frequency of 7s, but again, you're playing to not lose. Same thing with regression players. Regression players that will start out with something, I don't know, let's do something like this. Do something like this, and after, say, the very first hit, then they drop down to 135. Oh, now I'm playing on the house's money. No, you're not. You're playing on your money, because if you want, you could take this, you could go to the cage, cash it out, have that money in your pocket, and walk out of the building. It's not the house's money. It is your money. Once you win it, it is your money. You can leave with it. Therefore, it is your money. If it was the house's money, you wouldn't be able to leave with it. Great example of that would be promo chips. If you ever get promo chips, you can't go cash those out and walk away with the cash. Those are house money. You're legitimately playing with house money. In fact, they actually have no monetary value at all, which is why you can't cash them out. But once you win, it is your money. Your money, do whatever you want with, so you're not playing with house money, you're playing with your money. So regression strategies, those are a very, very, very common one. One that I saw the other day, actually, this guy absolutely cracked me up. He played 135 across, and then after a certain amount of time, usually 2 to 3 hits, but he played it by gut, sometimes it go longer, he would turn his bets off. Now, once he turned his bets off, the first couple of times we just left them turned off. But after about 30, 45 minutes of this, every time he would say, turn my bets off, we would take his bets down and hand it to him. Because he would never turn them back on. Not until the next shooter. So we saw, I actually kept count one time. And after he turned his bets off, he missed out on somewhere around $700 worth of payouts. He had made about, $200 maybe, if that. And lost out on over $700 worth of payouts because he kept his bets off until the next shooter. This was a player trying not to lose. It was one of those players that thinks, make the money in the first couple of rolls because, statistically it's not going to go past that. Gambler's fallacy. You are just as likely to receive a 7 out on the first roll as you are on the second roll, as you are on the third roll, as you are on any roll. Every roll has the exact same odds of a 7 coming. It's the gambler's fallacy, thinking that, the first couple rolls and then, no, it's not how it works. It's not how math works. It's not how the universe works. It's not how science works. It's not how physics works. So, regressing or turning the bets off. Now, the final reason that I see people never, ever, ever win, because they don't know how to take advantage of a long roll. And I usually use the 20-minute roll as an example. If you catch a 20-minute roll, it doesn't matter if you're already down, say, $300 on your $1,000 buy-in, even $600 on your $1,000 buy-in. If you catch a 20-minute roll and did not make enough money to look down at your rail and go, wow, I've made some pretty decent money, color me up, then you're never going to win. Ever. Doesn't matter if you catch a 30-minute roll, 40-minute roll, 50-minute roll, because your strategy is not based around taking advantage of the one thing that is the reason that people are trying to play craps. A common thing I see are people that just do pass line and that's it. No odds, no place bets, or they just bet the field. And I've also noticed that I see some experienced, not knowledgeable, but experienced players that do that. And it tends to follow certain socioeconomic paths. I tend to see that a lot in local casinos, especially near very low income areas where people learn how to play dice by throwing them against the wall in the street or in the house. They don't actually understand the game and don't realize that they're never going to win trying to win $25 at a time on a pass line. So the ones that I do see winning, that's really going to be a separate video on the people that I do actually see winning. But look at your strategy. Pick one number, figure out, okay, if that number were to roll 5 times, because that's what we're really looking for. It's not that we're looking for a 20, 30-minute roll. We're looking for one number to roll more than is statistically likely, say 5, 6, 7 times. I think 6 is a great number because if you're on a repeater side bet table, 6 hits for the 6 or 8 is a winning thing. Because it doesn't happen super often, but it happens often enough that people get paid. So it's that kind of a rare sort of roll that you're looking for. Look at your strategy, figure out how much you would make if one number, a 6 or an 8, were to roll 6 times. 6 times and then a 7 out. So factor in what you would lose when the 7 out came, and look at how much you would have won if that number rolled 6 times. If you would have won, at least coming pretty close to your initial buy-in, then your strategy might actually be viable. And could very well make you a decent profit. If not, you're never going to win. Thank you everybody for watching. We will catch you next time. Bye now.